Hello YouTube, welcome to this first episode in this new series of interview videos with wedding pros. I've not got a title for it yet. I was actually thinking...
Probably need a title.
Wing-to-views.
Wing-to-views. Oh, fuck, you've boshed it.
It's
right
great, isn't
there.
it? That's the best I could come up with. Any suggestions, maybe leave a comment.
Wing-to-views. So interviews with wedding pro.
Interviews with wedding pros, yeah. And joined today by Mr. Howard Wing, wedding singer, entertainer, host extraordinaire. Is that fair? Kind of person?
People ask me, what am I? What do I do? And I'm like, yeah. Because he was always a singer, but now it's like host, entertainer, singer.
Everything.
Pretty much everything. Organise stuff if they need help with things. And I get asked all sorts of questions.
And it's quite apt that, because obviously you're my uncle, and for anyone that Howard's my uncle, and you've helped me come up with the idea for doing this, so it was obvious that I was going to interview you first, but it's quite apt because I want it to be focused on the business side of weddings, and I think like in all the Facebook groups and wedding videographers, and they all talk about kit and they all talk about storytelling and the films, and all the focus is on the art and the art of it. And there's not enough focus on the business side because that's super. And like with the best films in the world, you can't have a good business.
Doesn't matter how good your camera is.
Yeah, with the best films in the world, you're not going to go very far if you don't have the business knowledge. You're not going to be able to sustain it.
You've got that. You've got the skills of being able to do your thing, make a great film, but if you don't know how to sell it, then you've no business, have you?
Yeah. And obviously I'll be trying to, hopefully speaking to wedding videographers, but people like yourself as well, because wedding business, it applies to any supplier, doesn't it? It's like you could be an entertainer or a photographer or a videographer. Whatever.
Yeah, the principles are all the same. You can tailor it to your specific area, but the principles basically are the same, yeah.
And that's why it's quite apt to start with you, because when I started, when you like, I wouldn't be a wedding videographer without you, would I? So... well, it's true, but
it always takes two, and it takes the person to take what I'm telling them and that knowledge and actually do something with it, and that's what you've done in spades. So, hats off to you, nice one.
No,
not everybody listens to what I tell them.
No, but yeah, I wouldn't have had a clue how to start the business without your guidance. So that's case in point that your knowledge just applied to, you're not a wedding videographer, you know knowledge of videography, but your wedding business advice applied to me, and
worked.
It definitely worked.
It certainly helped.
It's working so far.
Got you on the right path.
So yeah, hopefully there'll be plenty that people
can take value from. So let's start with kind of who you are and what you do and how you got started and all that stuff.
It was weird because I've always been a singer, entertainer, more a singer. I've been in bands, solo singer for a long time, but it came to the point in my life. What? Always been a professional show-off, yeah. But it came to the point where I just wanted to get out of my job. I think that's what it was. I wanted to do something different. I love my old job, but I just wanted to do something different and sort of...
ABC Garage does.
Change things. Love you, bro. But I just wanted to do something different, but I also wanted to make sure that when I did move on from that I was earning the same money, if not more. So how could I do it? So... the singing was always there. I got inspired. I was at a wedding, got inspired by somebody singing the swing, walking around the tables. I thought I could do that. And then I started to look into it. How do I do it? And that's what I picked up on. It's like, wow, this is something that's really needed at a wedding. Something a bit different. It gets people going. I reckon I could take that, make it my own, and put my own style of entertainment to it. And that's what I did. So it originally started, just wanted to get out of my job, earn some decent money doing it. And I just set off doing my thing, learning, going to seminars, reading marketing books, getting inspiration from people like Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and all that kind of stuff. And even Paul McKenna, read all of his books, and it changed the way that I used to think about work and business and life.
Yeah, so important
to learn and just go to all this and absorb yourself in all the learning.
It's not just about, let's learn how to send a good email. It's all about your brain, the mentality, and how you think about things. So a combination of that with some really great marketing skills that I learned just kind of propelled me, and just got me out into the wedding world.
Yeah. What was that, 12 years ago?
So that was when I got the inspiration to move more into weddings, was after my wedding. And it was probably 2.5 years after that when I went full-time as a singer. So it didn't take me long at all.
Doing it about 10, 12 years.
I've been singing about 15 years. Professionally, like I say, I left my job 9.5, 10 years ago to do it full-time. That was a weird week. On Monday, what am I going to do? So, I didn't have a gig to the weekend. I was like, better put Netflix on. No, but no, did they not? Jesus Christ! No, but that was it. So then I had all that time to focus and work and get on the phone and ring people and
that's it,
all sorts of stuff.
To me,
is like, what do you do in the week? If you do a wedding at the weekend you press a few buttons and then you go, what do you do all week? And it's like all that stuff.
Yeah, you have to use that time really, really well. Hey, all right, you're going to get a bit of chill time as well, but you're not working. You're not focused on a job of 9 to 5 on an everyday job. Because I mean, I did that at the start. I still kept working, and then in the evenings I was doing my stuff. I was singing on the weekends, and it was just taking too much of my time. So when I left my job, I knew how much money I was going to be earning for the following year. I knew all the gigs that I had, so I was kind of safe. But then all of a sudden, when I did leave, I had all this extra time. And so what am I going to do with it? And that was really important. Just on the phones, ringing people, creating networks, ringing up charities, hotels, getting in my car, sort of dropping into venues. I had a little brochure and CD that I had made, just popping in. Hi, I'm Howard, I'm this guy. But you have to work hard at the start. You've got to work hard, but you've got to put all those hours in, do all that stuff until things start to naturally kind of tick over. It's like a snowball effect,
It's that thing of work breeds work.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
yeah.
without a doubt.
So that was,
And then 10 years on, absolutely flying still.
I only do weddings now. I do 65 weddings a year, all over the UK, a few abroad. I do 65 weddings a year.
mental. I thought I did a lot.
What do you do now?
About 50.
52 I've got this year. But you don't have all the post work after the wedding.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but you send all yours off to Indonesia to get them.
Fiver. Trade secrets. And then
Yeah, that's my lucky thing, is the fact that when I've done the gig, that's it, I'm over. But obviously I have the pre-meetings with my couples, 2 meetings.
when I wanted to show an interest in maybe doing weddings, I just kind of, from my point of view, because I knew you were so successful and I just kind of trusted everything that you said that it would work, because you were so enthusiastic with it. Right, you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and this is how you.
It was good for me to do that for you because you were such a young age, and you had no kind of preconceived ideas of. I think sometimes if you've been in the business a long time, it's hard to take on new knowledge and learn, change your mentality. But you were fresh. You'd never been in the industry.
No one likes change.
No one likes change, but you were there from a fresh perspective. And it was like everything that I was saying to do, you were just doing it, and it worked. I remember the point where I kind of sat you down and I said, okay, because I knew you were at uni doing your masters, you were going to be a teacher, and I said, how much money are you going to earn as a teacher when you retire? No, we all need teachers. I'm not knocking it, but you were saying these numbers, and I thought, I reckon we could do that, being a wedding filmmaker, quite quickly, and you won't be working 9 to 5 and sort of marking sort of people's work at night, and you were like, oh,
and all the rest.
And all the rest, and you were like, oh, I quite like the idea of that.
Yeah.
So it was like,
it was when
I was getting paid maybe a couple £100 to go to a wedding, and I was like, £200 for a day, whoa! As a student, that was so much money.
It was the same when I first started singing. I think I never did half-an-hour slots and did the bars in Blackpool or anything like that. I just wanted to hit the high end straight away. But so I was looking for charity dues and I was doing them for free. But my first paying gig for me was about £250, I think. And I was like, wow, I've just done a night or a day, and then it's like, wow, there's real potential in the wedding industry and this entertainment industry to actually go out and make a really good living. So obviously that's what got you interested at the start as well.
From your point of view, when I said I want to do it,
yeah, well, you were doing everything that I told you, and that's it. But to the T, ringing people on people's doorsteps, creating relationships, doing the right things socially, on Facebook.
Metaphorically, I wasn't on people's doorsteps like a stalker.
Hello.
Do you need a wedding video?
In a video, but you know what I mean. You were taking names. You were proactive. You were doing stuff. But not only that, it's developed you as a person as well. You know, you're so much more confident. I mean, you were trained as a teacher. You obviously need a level of confidence to be in that world. But you've certainly your confidence has grown.
And again, like you say about the mentality of learning from all these entrepreneurial types and psychology of it.
I think when you get them first wins, that boosts your confidence, and then you get the next one, that boosts your confidence. Oh, that worked. Yeah. It's a great transition.
Because when the couples come back and say, "I love what you did. It was amazing. You made the wedding."
I think we do it for the love, don't we?
Yeah, it does feel.
It's not just the money and the life it gives us. It's that love and that sort of acknowledgement that we get from our clients that keep us doing it. Whether you feel down, you're knackered, you go out and do a gig, you get a great review, you're like, "Oh, you're on top again, aren't you?" It's great.
So if obviously you gave me that advice, but if there's someone wanting to start out or someone that's been doing it ages but wants to completely change the way they're doing it, what's the first things, what's the important stuff?
Well, I mean, we can use you as the example, can't we? So one of the first things that I did with you was get you on some of my weddings as a free, wedding.
Go out and work for free.
Yeah, whether that
I don't know if that would apply to like other suppliers like florists and things like that, but certainly as an entertainer or a photographer, you can go and work for free, can't you?
As long as you're not reliant on that money. So I think somebody who's long in the tooth and they're already in that business, starting from this aspect again might not be the right way for them. But starting from fresh, from brand new, you've already got a job. You know you're getting paid each week. Yeah, free gigs is the first one to get you going, because how else are you going to get a gig to somebody who doesn't know you, they don't know your work, they don't trust you, but you'll get somebody who'll say, "Oh, free one, yeah, I'll do that."
Work experience, it all looks good on your CV, doesn't it? And it's the only way to get your foot in the door, I guess.
Without a doubt. So once you've got that first free gig, you do that one, you use it, you do the social media stuff when you're there. Great wedding today, tagging the venues and all the people. Then that moves on to the next free gig, and then slowly build it all up. But when you're going out there at the start, you get to meet other suppliers, other people that are working the weddings. That's the start of your relationship building, if you like. Right from the start, you just go for it, don't you? But free gigs was a big one for me when I started as well. But the free gigs for the right people in the right places, I certainly won't start doing just going everywhere and anywhere and saying I'm a free guy. Well, you want to try and pick your right people. It was easier for you because you knew me. I obviously got that kind of foot in the door. But somebody else, if they want to work in great sort of wedding venues in Manchester or Cheshire, what's stopping them giving them a call saying, I'm sort of new in the business. Do you want some free promo work of your wedding venue? And just get your foot in the door that way.
If you're offering free stuff to a lesser venue, or you're offering it to one of the really top venues, it's free. They're going to say yes either way. So you might as well go to the great ones.
Exactly.
And it's those great venues that attract the great clients.
Yeah.
Other venues attract good clients, but the sort of clients that we want that are in a certain demographic where we want to be charging a certain amount, they're going to be attracted to those sort of venues because they want the best or whatever, if you like. So position yourself and marketing in the right venues, massive, without a doubt.
Going back to the networking as well, because that was one of the main things that stuck with me from your advice was building a network. And I think, like looking back over the last couple of years, the networking and making friends with the suppliers and stuff has been one of the biggest things.
It's just unbelievable.
That's got me like work and got me into the industry.
Videographers, I mean, for me, florists, people that do chair cover, they're like my best friend, but they are literally my friends as well, which is the beauty of it. If you always treat it as I'm using you for business networking purposes, it's never going to work. It's got to be real. But having friends in the industry is huge, man.
It's a double hitter because A, you're just your mates and you have a good time with them, and B, you're getting work out of it as well.
It's just great. So networking with good clients, without a doubt, massive. But it's weird, how do you do it right from the start? Because you don't want to be knocking on the door. But it's like it's just starting off.
Like you say, getting that first wedding.
Getting out,
being friendly, just being nice on the day. Like from a videographer's point of view, I'm not going out my way to try and kiss arse the photographer, but I just turn up and try and be nice, try and get on.
Johnny's arse quite a lot at the beginning. That's Johnny Draper, by the way.
Shout out Johnny Draper.
Shout out.
You told me to. You like Johnny Draper's great.
Johnny Draper. Well, I told you which people would be great to network with, i.e. which are just great people in general.
Not getting in the photographer's way from my point of view.
Well, it's about being, you've got to be to turn a phrase from Johnny's as don't be a dick.
Yeah.
So you've not got to be a dick. When you're on that wedding, you've got to be friendly, you've got to be nice, you've got to be easy to work with. You've got to be yourself, but you've got to be easy to work with, and you've got to be so nice. Your personality, you can't be, I don't know, you just got to be easy to get along with, and that's so important because people pick up on that.
Yeah.
And if it's the opposite, and I'm doing a wedding and somebody's not easy to work with, I notice that. I don't want to be, I don't want to know that person. I'm not going to recommend them. They're not easy to work with.
I've been on weddings and then I've got met a new photographer and it's a new venue, and I've come away and the following week I get an inquiry. My photographer's recommended you. And it's the one, and it happens quite a lot.
Snowball, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, as well as again ties in with the networking, going to the awards and doing the awards, because that was one of the first things you said was enter the wedding industry awards.
Yeah, because it's not just the networking opportunity.
There's a few varieties of different awards, but the wedding industry awards was the one that the main one.
Well, I
to go for.
It's the only one that I've ever done, just because I think it's the most credible.
Well, you've won it regional twice.
I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah. All right.
I won the regional, I think, 4 times.
You won National Best Wedding Singer.
I won the national once. I think I won the region 4 times, and now I judge it, which is cool
Of course, yeah.
because I don't have to be in it. I don't have all the stress of being in it, but I still get to be part of it, which is
And you get
which
to
is
go
good.
the networking and the party side of it as well.
So you think you've got a big room in there, and you've got, especially the main event, you've got 500 wedding people in one room. There's so many opportunities to chat to different people, to meet new friends in different areas of the UK. But it's so many benefits to wedding awards. It's just...
But just entering and...
You've got a little badge for your website, which gives a little bit of social proof.
You might not get
anywhere, but at least you've applied and gone and tried to do it, and then you buy a ticket to the event and you meet loads of people.
I think it's just having little things on your website. If people don't know you and they find your website, it's how do we give them a little bit of insurance that you're actually good at what you do. So a little badge in the corner that says Wedding Industry Award winner or finalist or shortlisted. Yeah. Like, it's just a little bit of extra something which makes people think, this guy's good, he's been certified, you know what I mean? Just being in that room for the regionals, chatting to all the rest of the suppliers and friends, the little badge for your website, the social media stuff you can do with it when you're at these events. Every time something happens within the award, you can do a little post about it. Gets people chatting.
Do you think that it's helped your business having the awards and stuff?
Yeah, without a doubt, yeah. It's just that social proof. People see it. I mean, I get so many clients who contact me. They say, "I've seen your website. I've seen all the awards that you've won." I've only won one award. Well, not one. I've only been in one awards, but I've won it a few times. But and they'll go off. I'm thinking of getting this guy. Who are you gonna book? This guy who's won the wedding award, or this normal guy who hasn't. He's a bit more expensive, but of course he's won all these awards. It's just giving that a little bit of extra insurance, that extra social proof to people that see your site. Especially if you have people who don't, because you will get people who just find your website, have never met you, never seen you, and they'll want a bit of insurance. Yeah, obviously you're always going to be working for recommendations and sort of word of mouth. That's gold without a doubt, but you're still going to get a few which have no idea who you are and just want a bit more information about you and what you've done and what you've achieved. So the awards is great for stuff like that. And it's a cracking piss up.
You
can just bleep it. Can you bleep that?
I'll edit that out, yeah.
And it's the authority as well and I don't want to say that it'll give you loads of authority amongst your peers, because
don't worry about the peers.
You should focus on your clients 100%, but it does give you that bit of authority for people that might be recommending you.
Say don't worry about the peers. I'm talking sort of generally. You want your peers to obviously be recommending you.
I mean other suppliers and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean necessarily.
Yeah, I mean other suppliers will see your awards and things, and they'll get a good idea of you and who you are just even before they've met you. They go on your site, they've seen you won wedding awards, and this guy must be good, you know. So it works even for people that are already in this industry as well.
That ties me in to one of the, again, and I think it was, this was your exact phrase, was being a celebrity within your own industry.
Make
yourself the celebrity within your industry, and it's that, and it's now kind of known as personal branding, and it's a big thing. And
so I'm a big one on this. I think that's why we said to you right at the start is to call yourself Adam Wing Films, rather than a name like ABC Films or something like that.
Yeah.
If there's an ABC Films, I'm sorry, but that can work in a corporate world really well. But I think when it's weddings, it has to be.
That have called themselves like Your Special Day or something.
Yeah, you can't relate to that, can you? Weddings, it's such a relatable business. Corporate, that's fine, but when it's weddings,
it's changed later to their actual name because, like you say, it's more of a personal kind of thing, isn't it?
yeah, people want to know the person behind the lens, don't they? Without a doubt, and you will be booked on you rather than your work sometimes. So I always think trying to have your name become that celebrity, become a kind of personality if you can. Get kind of well known in that sense rather than a business sense.
personal branding is really big at the minute in all the sort of businessy world, isn't it? And so with social media and stuff, and showing a bit off of you as a person, and it's something I'm really interested in at the minute because there's so many videographers that are coming away from social media and Facebook and focus, you know, just you look at like Instagrams and it's all amazing films and gorgeous work and stuff, but they're almost they're a bit too romantic with it and just wanting to show off the art and not showing off them.
I'm amazed at so many filmmakers that do weddings that don't have a wedding video promoting themselves of who they are and actually what they do. I know if you go on their websites, it's just their films, their wedding films. Which is great.
If it works, then great. But for me, I think if there was two companies and you like both the films, but one of them was showing off a bit about themselves, and you could get to know them through that as a person, you'd go with that. But
it's just making you real, isn't it?
Because then, I like that guy, or I like that girl, I want them at my wedding.
So it's what I was going to say. So when you're booking a filmmaker for your wedding, and I've seen so many old school, old style filmmakers with massive cameras. Can be quite miserable, can be quite daunting on the day, a bit imposing, trying to make the shot rather than just let the shot happen and film it. You want to know that somebody on your wedding is going to be friendly, nice to deal with, your guests are going to like them. I mean, some of the people that we had for our wedding, I'm not going to name names, but there was certainly one of our suppliers that just annoyed the guests.
On your own wedding?
On my own wedding, and photographers can do that, video people can do that, and I think if you can nail that, you're going to win every time.
The guests, can you?
'Cause it's your bride and groom's day, but it's the guest day as well. So you've got to be friendly, and you've got to have.
They're not only are they the friends and family of the bride and groom, but they might be potential clients. Some of them.
You've hit the nail on the head. Every single guest at that wedding is a potential client, or if not them personally, they'll know somebody who could be a potential client, and they'll ring up. Oh, who did their video? I've seen it on Facebook. That guy was really nice. Oh, he was called Adam Wing. He was dead friendly. He wasn't in our face. So putting how you film a wedding across is so much, not more important, but as important as how good that finished film's going to be. How are you on the day? You're friendly to work with. The guests are going to love you. You present yourself well. You don't have bad breath. So many video people have bad breath. None that I know, obviously.
Well, that's why I was convinced and stuff.
So this is the big one. I always carry mints, every gig.
Top tip.
But just being on weddings myself, you know, over the years, chatting to video people, usually old school guys, and they don't look very kept. They just look a bit scruffy, some of them, and they smell a bit. You don't want a smelly video guy, do you?
Well, if you've been doing it for that long and you've been to that, you go to X amount of weddings a year, and you kind of get into your routine of, another wedding. But for the bride and groom, that's like the first time they're experiencing you. You've got to bring your A game every time.
You start in fresh every time. It's like maybe what I do. You know, when I first go in that room and start doing my thing, nobody knows me. They've not got a clue who I am. I'm starting fresh every time. So you've always got to make a great impression.
You've got to be on it, haven't you?
You've got to be on it. You've got to look good. You've got to smell good. You've got to be nice. You've got to be friendly.
The way the videography is going now is couples are preferring the more sort of discreet approach, and laid back approach, and like you say, the guest, like a lot of the guests will just assume that they don't even know that I'm a videographer, which is great.
Yeah, but you have some people that think you're a guest, because I get that all the time.
Yeah. Or the work experience kid that's with the photographer. Because I think my age,
second shooter.
my age plays a little bit in that, and I don't mind using that to my advantage. But I think my age plays a little bit, and people just see this young guy and think that I'm inexperienced.
Well, that's cool, isn't it?
Which I don't mind at all.
But it's good that just shows that you're not imposing any part of that wedding. You're not dictating it or imposing it. You're just kind of in the background, flitting about, taking shots here and there, which is so much more relaxed than a guy with a big boombox and a massive pair of headphones and a big battery pack on his side with a branded, with his name on it and all that sort of stuff. You're blending into those surroundings, aren't you?
Again, it's reiterating that to your couple and educating them that that's like beforehand, because you always say to you always meet your couples, don't you? And you've always told me to do it.
The meeting, certainly for me, is so important. But what a great chance to sell yourself to somebody. But who better to do it? You know, it's you, isn't it? Yeah. So why not? But you can educate your couples of what makes the difference, because they might not know all the little things that do make a difference. And when you tell them, like, God, yeah, I don't want a guy with a big thing in everybody's face and a big light and telling people what to do. You're right. I want somebody in the background. Still want to get it filmed professionally and amazing, but I just want something a bit different that's not going to make people's faces. Yeah. But they don't know that until you tell them. So you've got to educate your couples without a doubt, and you can only really do that at a meeting.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to see them before the day, are you?
No, and how good is that? Because you can start that personal relationship with your couple, can't you? Rather than just being somebody on the internet.
I have noticed the difference since I've started, because I now try and meet everyone before the wedding. I've noticed a big difference, especially in the build-up, like the final meeting 6 weeks, a month before. And then when you turn up on the morning, it's like, hey, how's it going? Like you're the mate, and that's made a big difference, I think.
Well, it gets more out of them, because if they're really relaxed in your presence, it's going to be a better film, isn't it? Yeah. In my eyes. So the meeting's really important. You're starting that relationship off with them. If they like you, they're going to book you. I mean, I'm sure they've seen people's work. I always tell my couples, whether it's photography and videos, get 3 or 4 people you like the work of, and I always say meet each one of them and book the one you get on with the most. Because they're there all day. They're going to be there when you're putting your dress on. You're going to be there when you're getting your tie in the morning. You might be in your underpants with the boys. You're going to want to feel comfortable with whoever's working your wedding. So that's what I tell them. Make sure you book the one who you get on with the most. So the meeting is massively important.
It's for you, because your product is you're a wedding singer, but
the product is me, isn't it? So
yeah, but you're not just like, if you think of wedding singer, you just think of someone that's going to be stood there singing at a wedding, maybe like swing music or whatever. But yours is so much more than your thing is so much more than that, and your couples are buying into you more so than your product.
Yeah, and if they don't know what I do, and they just think I'm a guy standing in the corner singing, then when I meet them, I can explain all the value, all the extra things that I do, which makes them go, of course, yeah, that's why he's a little bit more expensive than this guy, or he's more expensive than him. It justifies your price, to a couple, because they get to see everything that you do, or they get to understand how you work and all the things that you're going to do. So the meeting is so important. But it's getting the meeting, that's the first thing. Yeah. How do you get the meeting? This is why it's so important you have to be out working, because if somebody's seen you and they've seen your work and they've seen it firsthand, you'll get the meeting. I always, with my emails reply, I always put a starting price. I don't tell them anything else. My prices start at this. That's pretty much all the info they get. Look, I know I'm going to make your wedding amazing, but I need to tell you how it works. My prices start here. If you're interested, give me a shout and we'll get together and have a chat. So that's my thing. But if somebody's seen you, you'll get the meeting. If somebody hasn't seen you, you want to hope that the friends have seen you. You want to hope that they've researched you enough online, on your Instagram and your Facebook.
Have a good website.
Yeah, because I know that if I've got somebody cold going online, going wedding singer, and they find me, I send them my starting price, I'm probably not going to get it. I might get a small percentage, and then when they come and see me, that's when I tell them what to do. If they've seen it firsthand before, it's a given. They know the difference you make. They'll know you. They'll know your style. They know how you work a wedding, how you film a wedding, because they've seen it firsthand. But if they haven't, it's a bit tricky to get that meeting. But I'd still always go for it. and they might want to ask more. Well, I want to know all the extras. It starts at a meeting. My prices start here. It starts at a meeting. Let's have a chat. There's no obligation to book me. And that's what you want to reassure them, that it's not a sales pitch. It's just a friendly wedding chat, and you don't have to book me at the end of it. But you'll have gained something by doing it.
Like you, and just you can obviously chat about the what you're going to do and the service,
instant.
but you're more focused on trying to get them to like you and
because they want you.
enjoy your company and stuff.
People, don't they? I mean, and it's instant. I get loads of couples who sort of leave me great reviews, and they say as soon as you walk through house door, we knew straight away. And that is how you greet somebody. How you when they first come to my door, it's like friends are coming. How's it going? Oh, so good to see you. Come on through, let's get a cup of tea. Let's chat about your wedding. How exciting. Oh, wow, your venue. Because you've got a little bit of detail from them, obviously through your contact page on your website. You know where the wedding is, you know when it is, what time of year it is, you know where the wedding is, so you can chat about the venue. Yeah. Especially if you've been there before, you can chat about the people who maybe work there. There's so many conversational sort of points you can get with a couple.
And each bit's reassuring them and reassuring them.
Every little bit you say is reassuring them. But it's not a force, it's not false, it's all true, you know. It's not like you have to be false and silly and think, oh, they're getting married there. Let's talk about personal work. It comes naturally, you know. It has to be, you can't ever force it. So yeah, meeting, being friendly, being nice, and straight away, I mean, I bet how many bookings do you get, how many bookings do you not get after having a meeting?
Yeah, very minimal, like 99%.
99%?
That meet book, because they know the starting price, so they're obviously happy to pay at least that. Because if they come to a meeting knowing the starting price, they're obviously...
If they've got a budget of £500 for a video guide, then you're not going to get a meeting.
No, but if I've said my starting price and they want to meet up and they're happy to meet up after that, then I'm obviously within budget. So then once you get them sat down and you explain it to them and you have a laugh with them, 99% then book, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people probably don't have the time to have the meetings, but I just think it's so important. It's not only that, because you're going to offer other services, aren't you? Your starting price is this. Oh, but by the way, if you want this,
yeah,
it's going to be X amount. Yeah, but then you talk to them about all those extras, and you don't have to sell it. You just tell them this is what I offer. 9 times out of 10, you'll get the upgraded version. You might get the mega version, but you might get something middle of the road, which is where you want to be. So I think having those meetings allows you to kind of upsell your services, which means you could be earning more money on that gig. So is that hour you're chatting to a couple worth it? I think it is, because it could be worth you an extra £500. Could be an extra £1,000.
It's a couple hours of your time that's potentially generated a few extra.
You can go to a hotel, sit and have a coffee for an hour and a half. It's not hard, is it? It's not like digging holes for a living.
Which is something to always bear in mind.
Oh, well, I always go back to my past, you know, working in the rain in back alleys, fitting garage doors and doing joinery.
ABC garage doors.
And I always have that as my reference point, always. Yeah. If I'm feeling, if I've done 5 gigs on the trot and I'm feeling tired and I'm thinking, wow, I've just done 5 gigs, what have I just earned? It'd have taken me X amount to earn that amount of money. But I've been at parties for 5 days. I've worked, I've set things up and whatever, but I don't class it as kind of real work, because I've been in the real world, in my eyes. We're so lucky that we've got opportunities within the wedding industry, because it's booming, you know. People are always going to get married, and there's always going to be different levels. And if you position yourself in the right level, and you've made it, you know, without a doubt. But you have to be proactive. It's like you were saying to me, you know, I've been doing it 12 years now. I'm still proactively doing stuff, but not going as mental as I used to do.
Well, let's go on to social media then, because that's
social media. Yeah, I'm a bit flitty with social media. There was times when I was like 3 posts a day, hammering it, tagging everybody. But I think the real key with the social media is always make sure you cover your weddings when you're on there. You don't have to be doing everything. You don't have to be putting what you're having for breakfast every day. A little bit of personal stuff is good.
Show off your personality, but you have to surrender your social media life to...
You do?
It's your shop front, your Facebook. You can't have your mates down Magaluf anymore.
I remember when you started, your social media was like partying with the boys, going crazy, and I said it's going to have to change, because it's not like it's your shop front, it's your life, and it's on show. And again, if you want people to like you and respect you, and you want people to know you are a kind of professional person. Yeah. But yeah, as far as in a nutshell, just basic advice for social media, wedding world, always be covering your weddings without a doubt. When you're at the venue, check in the suppliers, a few little shots on the day of with to always tag suppliers, tag the venues, compliment them. You can even leave reviews on the Facebook pages of said venue or said supplier if you got on with them well, and they reciprocate. You give something to the world, it usually gives it you back.
So if you review a photographer that you've worked with, then you might get one back. And don't do it for that reason, but
people reciprocate. And this is why one of the always things which I always say when it comes to meeting clients and doing stuff with them is always have some kind of free gift. I don't know how it's going to work in your world, but in my world it was always important to have a brochure, a CD, a wedding planner guide, something to give somebody. Psychologically, when you're giving something, you kind of feel obliged to give something back, i.e. the booking. Yeah. So always a free gift was something that I always learnt to do many years ago, and that it always works, yes. Same with reviews, saying nice things about people. They're probably going to say it back. And then when they say it back, all the people in their network are going to see it. Oh, I think he's talking about it. So I think what you give out in the world, you'll get back without a doubt.
So I was going to say, making friends with the couples and tagging.
Making friends with the couples.
And that's a good thing to do on the meeting, because when you're chatting and stuff, and you can get into Facebook, and then you've made
some Instagram. Oh, you'll have to like me on it. Yeah. What's you? I like
you. And then you're friends with them, so that when you come to the wedding day, you can tag any post you do. You can tag the couple in, and then all their friends, or the next day after the wedding, which is
as long as you get permission. It's always. I've done a few weddings this year where the people said no social media.
Yeah,
99% don't. They'll do it.
Most impact I've found is the day after, if you put a little selfie on with a couple or something, you tag them in, and all their friends see it, and then they're leading back to you.
Especially little snippets of video, which I've done for years with my GoPro bobbing around, because when it's your wedding day, the day goes so fast. If you're having fun and everything's great, the day goes like that. So you wake up the next morning, you're a bit hungover, you have breakfast, and it's like, shit, what happened yesterday?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got pings, somebody's posting a little shot of your wedding day, or one of the friends on the chairs going crazy and stuff. Brings it straight back, and then what they'll do, they'll tag it, because they're so excited about the day, they'll want all their friends to share it again, and they'll want their friends to see it again, so they'll tag the friends in, and there's a lot of mileage in a wedding. It's not just on the day, it's the day after, it's the week after, it's the year after, anniversary. Oh, this time last year, I was doing your wedding, what a great day. And an extra little picture for you, or a little snippet of video again.
They're going to see that.
They're going to see that again. You got to think people that go to weddings, they're in the right age group. You got older guests, obviously, but they've got a lot of their friends. They're going to be between 20 and 30. They're going to be getting engaged at some point in the future, possibly. Going to be getting married. So it's keeping you kind of fresh in those people's minds, And social media is probably the only way to do that. So it's important. I probably should do it more than what I do at the minute, but I got a bit concerned, about living my life on my phone. But it's still important, I still make sure it's back.
And because I've gotten really into the personal branding, the networking stuff recently, so I'm hammering it a bit more. But it is balanced.
You're kind of newish as well, aren't you? So you have to.
Doing it at the minute,
You've got to keep raising your profile forever, really. But now you've got to really do it. And obviously doing stuff like this is amazing. But within the wedding world, with your actual filming weddings, you've got to be building it, raising your profile, and you're doing everything right, wedding awards, authorities, building, networking, meeting great friends, showcasing your amazing films from wherever they may be. You've done abroad weddings.
Yeah, I think just doing a good job by the couple and working for your clients and making them happy, and every little decision I make is always with the client in mind, and then as long as they're happy, everything else just kind of falls in place after that.
Because what's going to happen if they're happy? They're going to recommend you. They're going to talk to people about you. They're always going to have good things to say about you. So whenever they talk about the wedding in the future, you're going to crop up. I was only at Jenny and Chris's house at the weekend. They got their wedding video out to show us, and it's by Jeff Wood.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
So they got married. Oh God, I don't don't know, I'm going to say 5 years ago, might be a bit longer. But they got their film out to show me so many years later, and I instantly, Jeff Wood. You know, so we were talking about Jeff Wood at their house at the weekend from the wedding video that he did 5 to however. Forgive me, Jenny and Chris, if you're watching this, can't remember. But we're there and we're talking about it, you know.
Let's quickly talk about video because most of the audience are probably going to be videographers. How do you use video in your business? And because
well, we touched on it earlier, didn't we? When I said I'm amazed at how many filmmakers,
exactly.
wedding videographers, shall we say, don't use promotional video about themselves. They just use films of their weddings to showcase. I think every business, whether it be a florist, video, so you have to use video. You have to have a video.
It's becoming such a thing now, and all businesses are having video content on social media or promo video.
I mean, what do you do on a website if there's a video about the product or about the person or about a service? Do you read all the stuff? No, you just hit play, don't you? Yeah. And
you've got one on yours because I've done bits of stuff for you in the past.
Done my videos.
Do you think it makes a difference?
Oh God, it's the most important part of your marketing media you can possibly do. You don't write loads of bumf, short bits of bumf, but great photography and great film. And what it does, that puts that client into their wedding. So they certainly. I'm going to talk about me. When they see my promo videos, they see people around that room having a great time. They're up on the chairs, they're dancing around the room. They're putting themselves in that scenario. It's the only, you can't do it with anything else. Maybe with a good photography, but a video just puts them there, and they see their wedding through their own eyes, how it could possibly be. Same with you. This is why I think you need to. Also, all video people need a video promoting their services so they can see exactly how they're going to be on their wedding day. Even though they're seeing other people's stuff, they know how you're going to be on their day.
Even doing Instagram stories is quite a good one for showing little bits of behind the, like when you're on a wedding, you can
behind the scenes.
Just here at this venue and
behind the scenes come across friendly and fun on that video, without a doubt. But you can use video in lots of other ways. You can use video. God, you can even have a reply video on your emails when somebody's inquiring about you. You can use your videos for reviews. So you know I do this where if you've had a fantastic wedding, which to be honest we're all are, I'll rephrase that. If you've had a wedding where the couple want to do it, but if you get them to do a little sort of review on film, where they say a testimonial video, where they would just say, "Hi, we've had Adam at our wedding, filming our wedding today, or last week, or wherever. He's been great to deal with. The film is amazing. I can't recommend him highly enough. He's a great guy, and book Adam Wing." Just little things like that. It's good content, but it's not a lie. And sometimes people who think a bit deeply about you and your videos and your website, when they see other people saying how good you are, it just makes it so real. Because some people make stuff up, don't they? They make false things up on the website and false reviews.
Yeah, like
you know it's real when somebody's saying it. When somebody's saying it on film, they know it's real. So certainly try and use that. I don't think I've seen many video people do it. I know you do it.
I've done a bit.
You've done it with Ellie and Harriet there, and you actually did the video where you filmed them while they watched their wedding video for the first time. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's gold. That's gold. The reason why I mention that is because nobody else was doing it. And I think that's the thing, you have to differentiate yourself in your world because there's so many video people now. And I think video and photography really, really competitive. So if you can get yourself a little edge, especially photography, but video now as well.
I think you can stand out in the video because the more people push themselves away from the personal branding side and the social media and just being about the art, the more space there is for someone else to do that because. And there's no videographers really showing off their personalities online.
That's what I'm saying. They're engaged in their art, and rightly so, because there's some amazing films out there.
Yeah, and I get
it's not easy to step up in front of the camera, and I struggle with it all the time. But you've got to do it, haven't you? You just got to.
Well, it's like I said before. If you can do something that's going to sort of give you that edge over somebody else to further your career, then why not? And it's things like using video testimonials, filming the couples. Reactions from seeing the films, meeting your clients, Just having it. I mean, there's quite a lot of similar styles in the film world now, and we all know who the real standout guys are, like in the photography world. You know, so it's having something that makes you stand out, and it can be your work, it can be your personality, it can be the way you market yourself. There's lots of different ways to stand out, not just with a film.
You don't need to, because you can. I was thinking, how can I make my film stand out against everyone else's? What can I do differently with it, an editing style or a shooting style? You don't need your films to stand out as much, as long as they're solid films. You can be the thing that stands out.
That is it, without a shadow of a doubt. Because, like I said, there's so many. You're never going to be. Maybe you are, but I'm never going to be the best singer in the world. I'm not the best entertainer. But if I can do enough things to make me stand out above everybody else, then I know when I get that booking, their wedding's going to be amazing. Same with you. There's so many similar styles, isn't there? But it's all exciting, though, isn't it, at the same time?
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
It's not work. It's just good fun.
When you look back on it in years to come, you've got all these memories and adventures that you've been on.
It's fab. It's fab. It's like I started to take a few more foreign bookings recently. It's because I never used to do it. I just thought memories. Just make a load of more different memories. It's the rocking chair test, isn't it? Sat on a rocking chair with an old man with your grandkids on your knee. What are you going to tell him? Loads of stories in the wedding world. You can be flown all over the place. You can be doing celebrity weddings.
Not so appropriate for kids.
Some stories not appropriate for kids. I've certainly got a few non-appropriate stories from weddings.
Anyway, we don't want to get into that. Let's summarise top tips.
Top tips for somebody who wants to start off and build a business.
Nuggets, yeah.
Build a business. Firstly, no, it's not going to be easy and you have to work hard. It's not work, but you're going to have to do stuff.
A lot of time in there.
Nothing works unless you do. So you've got to have that mentality.
Be willing to dig in the dirt.
Be willing to dig in the dirt. And you're going to go through some shit. You're going to go through some... We all do, don't we? But just keep going. Just keep going. Right, summarise. 3 gigs for the right people, right places. Networking with the right people. And make sure that it's real and none of it's ever false. Keep moving forward. Get in contact with amazing venues that you want to work at. Approach them with your services. Social media, make sure you always hit it on the wedding without a shadow of a doubt. Friending the couples, talk about stuff. Be friendly and nice. Never smell. Make sure your breath's good.
Meetings.
Be friendly on the day. Don't be a dick. And it'll come, but just as long as you work at it, it's obsess about it in a weird kind of, in a non-weird way.
Well, you've got to be passionate about it, haven't you? Because otherwise you're not going to obsess about it and you're not going to...
You're going
to want to put all your time in.
The thing is, the reward from doing what you do and what I do is just huge, So all the little crap you go through is gone because the reward is so good. So it's there and it's at the end, So... I'm going to say have an end goal, but there is no end goal really. It's just keep doing what you're doing, moving forward. So the reward's massive. So just get your head down, keep working, obsess about it. Every day you can wake up, what can I do today that's going to progress my wedding business? If it's one thing you do every day, whether it's pick up the phone, whether it's to make tweets a venue, ring a supplier, get a new technique maybe that's going to make you look a bit different, put a plan together for making a film about yourself. Contact an ex-client, would you mind if I come round and would you mind doing a testimonial video? Just one thing a day, just think of something when you wake up, let's do that. Or before you go to bed, what am I going to do tomorrow to further my business? Because, you do one thing a day, it's not 365 things, it's more because it compacts on top of each other. And doors will open, things will happen, stay obsessed, stay busy, stay hungry, and have a lot of fun doing it. Because why else would you do it? It's got to be fun, and it is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
Nice note to end on.
Was that it? Was at the end?
Yeah.
The thing is, I could talk for days about this because there's so many different levels and different advanced techniques. How to speak to people on the meeting, sort of psychological techniques. Just body language, all sorts of different.
Well, we're going to have to do another one then, aren't we? No one's watching by this point. So.
Maybe we should do an advanced version. But like I said there, all them things are just covered. Is just do it.
That'll do. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
To meet you nice.
Thank you for being part of the first episode.
Thanks for letting me be the first interviewee. I hope your viewers are going to either get one thing from what I said and they go ahead and do it or try it, then, we've succeeded, haven't we?
Top advice. Well, it worked for me, didn't it? So I think.